Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about practice again, doing a regular practice, because it's not easy to consistently practice the craft every day, or at least try to practice it in some way every day, or at least on a regular basis. Because when we don't practice the craft, we kind of lose touch with it. We can start to let the mundane world get a hold of us. And before we know it, we feel like something's missing, we feel like we're not turning up for ourselves, and we feel like we're just getting caught up in the daily affairs of everyday life, and things stop feeling spiritual, they stop feeling otherworldly, they stop feeling magical. So I'm going to give you some tips for what you can do to help that. But before we do, I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. If you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, tarot, magic and shadow work, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice but you're confused, you don't know how to have a consistent practice, you don't know what to learn and when to learn it, I have a free video. It's called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice, and there is a link in the description field below this video for how you can go about obtaining it to watch it. So let's get started with some guidance around what you can do to bring the craft into your life on a regular basis, consistently. The first thing you really do need to set up is some kind of a routine. We are creatures of habit, and when we develop a habit that we do every day, then we start to get into that routine. Our body starts to get used to doing it. We start identifying with it on a psychological basis, so it's easier to then do. You don't have to force yourself to do it, and you're not necessarily having to remember to do it either. It's just something that comes consistently as a part of your life. So when starting up a routine, think of when's the best time for you to do some kind of a practice. Is it early in the morning? Is it before you go to bed at night? Is it when you come home from work? When is a good time for you to just dedicate anywhere from 10 minutes to half an hour, if that's all you have, on a regular basis, to be able to touch base with yourself, to touch base with your magical self, your spirit self, to the god and goddess, to remembering who you are and what you're doing here? How much time on a daily basis do you have to do this, and how much time can you make to do this? Obviously, when you're learning something, when you're practicing something, some days are going to be busier than others. Some days you're only going to have 10 minutes to be able to do anything, and other days you might have like a couple of hours where you can actually get in and start studying it properly, read, plan things. So it's not going to be the same every day, obviously, but you do need to have some kind of a routine. So it's something that you set up on a regular basis. When you first start, as with spell work, you want to create a sacred space. Even if you've only got your bedroom as your sacred space, anywhere where you can sit and meditate, journal, do any of the ritual work, that can be your sacred space. It doesn't have to be a designated room. It can be the corner of a bedroom. It depends what you've got and what your living circumstances are like. And even regarding whether you're being secretive about what you're doing or not, because let's face it, a lot of people can't practice their spirituality openly when it comes to witchcraft. It's still seen as being something bad in parts of the world and even in Western countries. So even if you're hiding it, then you have to be super careful about how you do your practice. But you still want to set up a sacred space. Now, a way that you could do that is through lighting a candle or incense. Of course, if you're trying to hide the fact that you're practicing, you may not be able to do those things. So you may have to use your imagination and set up a sacred space on the astral. So that's using your imagination to create space. You may imagine that there's white light that's around you, that's surrounding you, that maybe it emanates from your heart chakra, and as it goes out around your body, it may fill the room. And you can imagine that that light, it could be a green light, it could be a blue light. That is an energetic cleanse, that it's cleansing the space, that it's transforming anything that is unwanted into positive, uplifting energy. And that's something you can do with your imagination. You don't need to have candles or incense to do that. You can do that energetically just by imagining that you are doing that. And that's how you can create a really simple sacred space. You can, of course, do a full circle if you want to, but that's not necessary on a daily basis or even on a regular basis. You might want to set up a circle for spell work, or you might want to set up a circle for sabbats and things that are more, that are bigger things. But on a daily basis, you don't need to be setting up a full circle unless you're practicing and learning how to set up a circle. Then it's good to set it up every day just to get the practice in doing it. But use your visualization skills if you're unable to use incense or candles. And even if you are using incense and candles, you can still use your imagination to imbue your own kinesphere and your room with positive energy. Then once you've set up this space, it's time then to do your invocations to the god and goddess if you're working with god and goddess energy. And all you have to do is just ask them to be there with you. Invite them into your sacred space. You might have candles that represent them. You might have like a gold candle for the god and a silver candle for the goddess, for example, or you may even have particular deities that you resonate with. And so you may have statues of those deities or items that represent those deities in some way. In the Mystery Witch School 101 course, which is the course that I teach on Wicca and Witchcraft, we work with different deities at different times of the year. So you get the experience of setting up sacred space on a daily basis with various different deities, depending on what time of the year it is. So that's something that you can then find out which deities you resonate with and which ones maybe you don't resonate as well with. So invoke the deities and feel into them, imagining them there with you, like you're a little triangle, you know, a trio there, sharing energy and being connected to each other. Then could be a good time to offer some gratitude. You think of the things that you're grateful for, at least 5 things that you're grateful for in your life. Write them down or just say them out aloud. This is a wonderful exercise to raise your vibe and to also get you thinking in a positive way about your life. Often we look at our lives and we see what we don't have and we forget what we do have. And a very magical thing to do, particularly when you are working on spellcrafting, is to raise your vibe and appreciate what it is that you actually do have. For example, if you live in a house that isn't yours and you're wanting to buy a home, show gratitude for the home that you're in. Even if it's not perfect, even if you've just got this, you know, tiny little bedroom that's all to yourself because you live in a share house, still find what's good about that room. Is there a comfortable bed? Is it, you know, it's got a window that overlooks something? You know, what's positive about it? And try and find something positive. So if you're doing a spell then to find another home, whether it's renting or buying, then that vibe's going to be higher than if you're constantly thinking about, I hate this place, I hate this room, I don't like the people I'm living with, all that kind of thing. Try and find positive things, at least 5 a day. They can be the same things. You can have 3 things for a week that are the same and just add an extra 2 that are different. So the gratitude it really is very uplifting and very positive thing to do. Another thing that you can then do is meditate or do some concentration exercises. In the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy, I'm going to refer back to that because it's all about helping you do this sort of stuff. There's exercises every month to do with improving your concentration, your visualization skills, your auditory skills, your tactile skills, connecting to the elements. And there's meditations every day, and they go anywhere from 20 minutes, usually around about 20 minutes, the meditations, sometimes half an hour. And you don't have to do them every day, but when done on a regular basis, you start really connecting to the elements. You start connecting and getting better at being able to visualize if you're not particularly good at visualization. You learn how to visualize and hear things at the same time so that you can really imagine that you're experiencing something you want to experience. You can touch the texture of something. If you're wanting a car, for example, you can imagine you're sitting in the car and the comfort of the seat, the smell of the car and the touching the dashboard of the car, touching the steering wheel. What does that feel like? And the concentration exercises help you with that. They help you make your desire when you're doing the spell more real to you, real to the subconscious mind. And that really does help kickstart your magic. So getting used to concentrating. It's also Mercury retrograde. I'm having trouble speaking. It's also very good to help introduce you to meditation. Because concentration gives your mind something to do. It gives your mind something to fixate on, rather than where on meditation, when you're trying to clear the mind and just settle the mind or bring the mind home. That can be really difficult for a lot of people at the very beginning. So having something to focus on and do concentration exercises like watching a flame, closing your eyes, and then just imagining that you can still see the candle, remembering what that candle looked like, and then creating another image in your imagination of what that candle looks like, and trying to keep your focus on the candle as you watch other thoughts trying to come in, as your mind will probably go wandering. Bring it back to that image in your mind of the candle, for example. That's an easy concentration exercise to do. Well, it's not necessarily easy to do, but it's an easy one to remember to do because it just involves a candle. And journaling. Journaling is another thing you can do on a regular basis too. It's a way of getting in touch with you. It's a way of recording how you feel when you're doing a regular practice. How's your day? How are you different on a day you do a practice compared to days when maybe you don't do a practice? How do you feel? How does it make a difference to your day? And you record what your experiences are in your journal. Record what you're thinking and what you're feeling. It will help you get more in touch with who you are and know thyself. And another thing you can do in a regular practice is to get used to setting intentions. It might be an intention that you want to set for the day, something you want to get done that day, or something you'd like to have move really smoothly that day, or maybe you just want the weather to be different that day. You can practice on visualizing the wish fulfilled on a daily basis. So it gets you in the practice of doing it, again, concentration exercise. But also, if you've got a goal that might be a big goal, if you're focusing on it being real to you on a regular basis, you're making it more real in your subconscious mind. And that way you're going to start perceiving the reality of it. It will come to you. That's how the magic works. Now I have a video, it's a short 5-day video course. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Starting a Wiccan Practice That Works. And it's just 5 days of setting up a daily practice. It just goes day by day. It goes over 5 days, short videos that just introduce you each day to something you can add to your daily practice. It's a very simple daily practice. It's one that you can change as you get more experienced. I include that particular course as a bonus in the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy course, because in the 101 Academy course we also do daily practices as well, because I encourage that, as well as other practices that you do on a monthly basis to build your skills month by month by month, and also to build your experience month by month by month, and of course your knowledge month by month by month. So the Mystery Witch School 101 is a 12-month course. It's really there to help you get confidence in practicing the craft to get you connected to your practice, to your magic, to your magical you, to get you connected to the god and goddess and working with the god and goddess energy, to get you connected to nature and to spirit and to the elements, and to start bringing this into your life on a regular basis so that you can start feeling that your life has meaning and discover the meaning in life through having a regular magical and spiritual practice. And you can certainly do that through witchcraft. It doesn't even have to be Wicca as such. It can just be witchcraft that sort of fits within that Wiccan form of the wheel of the year, working with the lunar energies of the new and full moons, that kind of thing. So it's a very eclectic approach to Wicca and witchcraft. So if you want to learn Wicca and witchcraft with me, you want to set up at an established practice, you're really wanting to put yourself in for that 12 months or longer if it takes you longer, to really get back into feeling like your life has meaning again, then take a look at the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. There's a link in the description field below this video. Or if you just want to check out the 5-day practice that I mentioned, the ultimate guide to starting a Wiccan practice that works, there's a link to that one in the description field below this video as well. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra for mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.